is, it's around the time that I normally go live, hopefully. You know exactly what time it is. It's time to work on this nightmare of a scooter again. It's time to fulfill my deepest desire to fix this thing and finish it. Let's see, let me get my thing pulled up real quick. All right. Let's see.
Our tax experts keep more money in your business, so you have more time for your business. Less tax stress.
All right. So where we left off yesterday was the battery box or electronics area. Pretty much the little tray thing is good. I remember at work today, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh man, I forgot. The freaking battery doesn't fit in there with the stupid little thing that I made. This is what it looks like right now with the little box. The little cover for the battery for the electronic area. Thanks to Moses for the suggestion on this little shelf thing to mount this thing on here. I think it's going to work good. I just got to drill a couple holes in it to bolt it down. And then I was thinking about it. I could just maybe trim the front of this battery box a little bit so I could put it in at a slight angle, and then I wouldn't have to trim this metal piece. I don't know. I think that's probably maybe the easiest way to go about it. Minor little hiccup. Just not being able to get the battery quite in there. The other option is to just notch this out slightly, but I wouldn't be able to use a bolt there. But I could use a bolt on the corners, which wouldn't be that bad. I might actually just do that. Because my thought is I'd rather the strength be in the battery box than it be in this little shelf thing. The purpose of this little shelf thing, let me make sure you guys, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. Sorry. What's up, Giacomo? How you doing, buddy? You know, it's funny. I was just thinking about you last night. I was like, dude, what is Giacomo up to? I haven't heard from you. And that's funny. I guess it should be no surprise that I heard from you, because I was thinking about you yesterday. I was like, I wonder what he's up to. We gotta hang out sometime soon, buddy. I'm doing good, man. I hope you're doing good. Working on the I smell vinegar. That's not a good smell. The other day I was out in the garage and I was like, what is that smell? Or no, I was like, what is that liquid? I was playing a game in the garage. It was called What's That Liquid? And that liquid today was some vinegar. And it was all over the ground. And I guess at some point I had kicked the gas tank down here and let the vinegar go. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, my point is I wanted the strength to be I wanted to leave this little plastic battery box alone if I could. I didn't really want to cut it. I mean, because I was thinking about doing that, but then I was like, if I could just cut out a little portion of this, all this is doing, this little shelf here, is just securing this piece and just holding it in place, and that's it. There's no other purpose to it. So it being cut is not going to be a huge deal. This being cut could potentially compromise what little strength that the little battery box that's made out of plastic has left. So I think I'll do it like that. I might even put a little piece of angle iron underneath this battery box just to kind of anchor it in place or something, because I don't know. I guess it doesn't really have that much vibration. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace out what I need right here to cut off. Let me do that. I'm going to trim this a little bit, drill out the holes, put that thing on there, line it up, mark it out, draw out the holes on that, put some hardware in there and possibly actually weld on some nuts onto here. I think that would be a lot easier for installation for him instead of having to sit there and try and stick his finger under there and put a bolt in. Gotta think ahead. Gotta try and think ahead. I'm not the best at that when it comes to working on bikes, apparently. But this is something that obviously I have to make sure that he'll be able to take it on and put it off easily. Can't be some huge hassle. All right, I'll just get this general little chunk out of here. I'll try that and see. I got to take this little battery box out of here.
What is TubeBuddy? Let's break it down fast.
All right.
TubeBuddy is used by over 14 million creators to optimize, grow, and manage their YouTube channels. It's a browser
All right, give me a second, guys. I'll go
designed to save you time, get you views, and supercharge your content. Ever wondered if changing your thumbnail?
Well, I was watching, but had a crash. Doing great. Can't wait to come by up at 3 a.m. tomorrow as well. All right, good to hear, Giacomo.
You can test different versions and see exactly
I will,
what works best. And then there's Click.
I will hit you up and we'll figure something out. We'll kick it soon. Focus Angels, hello again, sir. Love your stream. Thank you very much again for the kind words of wisdom and advice about getting my channel going. Much love, sir. Have some shorts now too. Nice. Focus Angels. Let me go write down your name real quick, and I'll look at your channel thing later on. Your channel shorts that you posted later on. All right, I'll go leave you some likes and stuff. Keep going, Focus. Thanks, Giacomo. The deal for real. What's going on, deal? Deal or no deal? I say deal. I say take the deal. And the deal for real is here. Sorry guys, just grabbing the grinder real quick. Trying to find a decent grinder. Black wheel. I guess I probably need to order some more. Alright. There we go. Grab these. Alright. So I'm gonna take the electronics off of this thing real quick. Take the battery off. Take the starter relay off and the CDI off. Oh, that's nice and easy. Now I'll have to probably take this little. Yeah, it doesn't need to be trimmed a whole lot. Oh gosh. There we go. Bend it. Dang. Thing is kind of at my warp now. Let me take this battery box off, cut this thing. All right. See, let's slide this up. Nice. All right. Easy enough. Man, since I welded this piece on here, it's kind of a little misshapen now, I guess. Let's see how that fits on there now. That's fun. That's good news. More good news. Brought to you by yogurt water. All right, let me grab this. What's going on, Susie Q? How you doing, Susie? PNW Cigar says, I have no idea what the hell is going on here, but I'm all in. I'm glad you're all in, PNW Cigars. Hopefully you're having a nice cigar for me right now. Just working on a little Mad Max looking scooter with Gizmo here, Courtney, my co-host, Tom, who is enjoying a cigarette of his own, and just working on this little toolbox. Apparently, this guy crawled into here overnight. I was not actually aware of that, but he must have gotten in there somehow. I don't know. I thought it was locked. Guys, I'm going to use the grinder for just a minute. If you're wearing headphones or whatever, you might want to turn down the volume or something. covered in metal dust and have inhaled just the right amount. And mine is just in the right spot. Thanks, PNW Cigars. PNW Cigar says this is legit. Rachel 6863 says the goat is at it again. Love this channel. Thank you for the kind words, Rachel. Focus Angel says he's just super rad and that's all I need to know. Thank you very much. X Swim, too legit. You are too legit to quit. X Swim, me and X Swim actually were in the X Games back in 1992. I don't know if he told you guys in the chat, but me and X Games were back in the or X Swim were back in the X Games back in 1992. In the we were with Gizmo in the competitive tetherball. It was me versus Del Fuentes, 2v2 match. Del Fuentes tried to use a grab technique. Everyone knows in tetherball you're not allowed to hold on to the ball. And he tried to do the overhand spin. I said there's no way he's going to get away with that. I freaking blocked it and got the tetherball all the way around the pole. 1, 2, 3, easy peasy, and took home the championship for the X Games. Me and X Swim. It was a 2v2, so X Swim, of course, came in right at the end and came with the old alley-oop on the tetherball pole. We kind of did an overhead thing where he jumped up on my shoulders and then used the elbow technique. So it worked out, and we won the X Games in 1992. Me and old X Swim. Gizmo, of course, was not there. At that time, he was working at KFC, I guess. We hadn't met, but that's what he told me later on. When I asked him, I said, what were you doing back in 1992? He said, working at KFC. I said, all right. I said, how was it working there? He said it was really good because he could eat all the chicken that he wanted, apparently, while he was on the clock. I said, is that like a company policy thing, or how does that work? Like, how do they keep track, like, for the inventory and stuff? He said, oh, they don't care. I said, are you the one that's, like, did they say you could do this, or did you just, he said, they don't care. Okay. I guess they didn't care. Good on you, KFC. Treat your employees right. But yeah, me and X Swim, we go way back. Back in 92, we were in the X Games. Actually met him back in college. Well, we were doing water polo. It was a lot of fun. So swimming is a lot more exercise than you would imagine. It seems like you're just floating there, but it's not. It's a lot more than that. Giacomo says, Fang never deviates from his realness, yo. Thanks, Giacomo. Sam Solomon 92 says fox. Yes, this is actually a very rare breed of fox that I picked up at a pet store. It was at $8,000, and I think they said it came from South America, but I'm not 100% positive. Kyle Hunnell 6003 says love the vibes, brother. Well, thank you, Kyle, and I'm glad that you're here, man. I'm hoping that you're gonna stick around. Focus says for being super metal, this is super soothing for show. I agree, Focus. Lieutenant Dan Legs Free P3AK. I worked at a chicken plant and we could buy 60 pounds of chicken, 12 birds for $1. Are you serious, Dan? That's crazy, dude. 60 pounds for $1? I would buy it and then just like, I don't even know. I just have stockpiles of chicken meat all over the place. And people would be like, what are you going to do with all this? I said, I don't know. No idea. I'm going to start eating chicken nuggets. And I would start eating chicken nuggets every single day and just not stop for the rest of my life. Every meal, every day. I'd be like, I basically don't have to pay for food ever again as long as I just love chicken. I would learn how to make anything out of chicken. I'd be making chicken desserts. I'd be making chicken hats. I'd be making chicken socks. I'd be making chicken. I'd be like, there's got to be a way to power a car off of chickens. Like, if I could just figure out the technology to harness just chickens, raw chicken meat, and just make it into fuel, this would solve like a huge part of my life. Like, I could literally travel the world on chicken power. I could have liquid chicken. I could have anything. 60 pounds for $1. That's insane, Dan. What would you do at the plant? Were you just like processing the chickens, I'm guessing? That's got to be an interesting job. Man, chicken powered. 60 pounds for $1. Could you imagine? You know I'd have a chicken mask. I would probably have one of those without even working at a chicken plant, to be honest with you. I mean, if we're being real here, I wouldn't even be needing to work it. To be honest with you, I'm kind of surprised I don't have a chicken mask already. I'm not saying that I haven't thought about it, but I just don't have one yet. Okay, I'm going to try and do my best. I always try and do my best. Okay, I'm just going to drill out 3 holes here. I'll show you what I did. So basically, use the grinder to cut this little notch out right here so that the battery is able to like tilt out and slip out. I'm going to drill a hole right here, and right here, and then make sure everything is good to go. Then I will weld 3 nuts on the bottom side of this little thing right here, so that when I give this to my buddy, he can put the cover on there and just put the bolts in, and it'll be easy for him. He won't have to like sit there and try and fish the nut underneath there and hold it and all that. He does not work on stuff that often, I don't think. So I'm trying to help him out as much as I can, make it as easy to work on as possible when I give it back to him. This is a GY6 scooter. It's a Mogwai Fox, says Angel Corelli. Lieutenant Dan says, we ate a lot of chicken, dogs, cats, even our chickens ate chicken. Oh, man, that's crazy. That's diabolical, Dan. That's pretty cool, though. Kyle Smith. Thank you very much for the 20, Kyle Smith. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Kyle. Thanks, buddy. Gizmo is going to get him some drumsticks tonight with that 20, Kyle. Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it. Fang's Garage. We love it. Lieutenant Dan says, I worked there for 5 years, did everything. LOL, Q and maintenance, line work, all kinds of stuff. Nice. Kyle Smith, I'm working on the GI6 scooter, this little Mad Max scooter. I have a couple different ideas for it. I don't know, possibly this. This is a possible add-on option for the Mad Max scooter. This is definitely something that would be kind of sick to put on there. If I could, I think it'd be pretty easy for me to do, to have a little foot pedal, gas pedal. I might have to make this a little add-on thing and possibly put it on there and ride it around like this. You know I gotta try it. I have to try it. I might have to try it. Depending on how, I don't know. The possibility of me wrecking this thing right after finishing it is very high if I decide to put a steering wheel on it. So I'm kind of trying to think about it. For a second. But it would be really sick to try it. I've seen, I think, one picture of a motorcycle with a steering wheel on it, and I said, I have to try it. But I think they had a foot throttle also. You know I gotta try it. Okay, let me just quickly put this little battery box on here a little bit so that I can test it and make sure that it's going to work as far as taking the battery out and putting it in with this little shelf piece on here. I actually treated myself and went out and bought a pack of M6 by 1.0 nuts the other day. Like, you know what? I gotta treat myself and buy myself a little pack of nuts. Alright, that seems to be perfect. So now I can easily just slide in and out. Show you guys real quick. Giacomo says, Stellar, are you the push-up dude? I'll match you. Nice. You guys gonna do a little push-up competition, huh? Yes, Wonder Bucket, I am building a time machine. This is part of the inverter for all the flux gases. Basically what happens is as the flux gases build up inside this little reservoir chamber, all the gases will start to invert, go through this line. It'll go into this little unit, and once all the gases atomize, it'll basically get sucked into the vortex portal. That'll go around the backside. I haven't put that on the backside of this unit yet. Basically what happens is this is going to start, once you start putting the equations in, this is obviously going to determine what time you're going to go to and how far back in time or forward in time you're going to go. Obviously, if you're going to go forward in time, you're going to need to get the inverter. This is the only piece that I have for the inverter right now, and this isn't going to exactly work if you're going to go that far forward in the time. It's going to really limit the amount of time that you can go forward in time. So it makes a difference, basically, the height of where you're at, space-time. So I believe that you're going to age faster on your feet than your head. So if you're farther up, then it depends where you're going to travel through time. You have to go, basically, that's why I put the, whenever I put the wing units on here, and then I have the thrust capacitor, that goes through the transistor that is in the kickstart mechanism. And that's going to make it so that we can essentially do a vertical takeoff and not have to go forward and take off with the actual lift of the wings. So it makes it a lot easier to go through time when you're higher up, essentially. So yes, sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a little rabbit hole. To answer your question, Wonder Bucket, yes, we are building a time machine. Axe AYLXE says, nice chrome coom. Thank you. Vanessa Human, I see Stripe is helping you. Yes, Stripe is helping me. He is smoking a cig right now. He's actually being kind of lazy, to be honest with you. Let me see if I can actually talk to you for a second, buddy. Oh, drop this smoke. Yes, Stripe is helping me tonight. Oh, what's going on, Vanessa? Vanessa. Yeah, Stripe is helping me. And by helping me, I mean he's just sitting here, acting like he's doing something like he always does. He was actually supposed to get a job with Gizmo here at Home Depot. He didn't show up on his first day.
Save time creating content.
I said, dude, I put my name on the line for you. What are you doing? Like, you're embarrassing me. Gizmo is really mad too. Gizmo works in the plumbing department currently.
Voice generating technology.
Let me skip this ad real quick, guys.
Stop searching for the perfect voice and stop wasting time re-recording take after take. Try 11 Labs for free.
Gizmo does work in the plumbing department, guys. So if you need any plumbing, let him know. Susie Lucky did not escape. She is in hiding. But she does have a couple of other friends that are possibly being worked on at some point. We will see. Yes, the flux capacitor, exactly. Ver message. This channel is legit. Thanks, Kyle. Montgomery Ball, lay off the dope, dude. Montgomery, can't lay off the Celsius, buddy. Sorry, I took a nap today, so I'm a little energized. I had a bad headache earlier. The thingamajig is in the works, guys. Yes, it is. I can't delete. Dude's on some other. Yes, you cannot delete it. Sorry, you cannot delete this memory. Uncle Rico, yes. Actually, your Uncle Rico, I'm not sure if he might have actually come by the garage. I'm not sure. Your Uncle Rico may have possibly dropped off this molecular model set for organic chemistry. I'm not 100% positive. But he might have left that. So we'll see. We'll see if I can learn about organic chemistry. Molecular biology. Whatever that thing is. Time travel is impossible, dude. Einstein said so. I elude 214. You might be right, unless Einstein just didn't want anyone to know about it, and maybe he just wanted to hog it to himself. Time travel, I need that to go back to my 20s. I can't delete. Let's go back together. Come on, we'll go together. There's room for two. You can't delete the past, but we can go back and change it. They can. I mean, it might be horrible. I say let's go back and buy a bunch of Bitcoin. How about that? Let's go back and buy at least $10 worth of Bitcoin. Come back. What if that's what you did? You went back in time and you're like, I'm gonna buy Bitcoin, and you only bought like $10 worth? Like somehow you could only, when you went back in time, that's the only amount of money that you were able to get. That would actually be a funny time travel movie. Like you go back in time and no matter what, you can't get the sports almanac or whatever it is, and the outcome is actually way worse for you. So make sure this is all gonna line up before I get too far with it. I'll show you guys what it looks like on the bike. Let's see. Grab the ratchet. I guess I can just grab my drill. Remember that is. Alright guys, looking for my socket and ratchet. Oh, here it is. What's on the bench? I'm saying a lot, VRY message. Were you talking about the different components of the time travel machine? Or is the audio messed up? I'll turn down the music a little bit. It might be, the music might be drowning it out. All right. Let me turn this down real quick and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. Are you going to time machine back to the set of Silence of the Lambs? Yes, T Music Lover H, I am. We're going back and we're gonna have a little meetup. Who's living in the jerry can? New roommate, Rob. This is the Crypt Keeper. He decided to hide in there overnight. Let me turn down the music a bit. Music might be too loud. The Crypt Keeper, he decided to crawl in there. What's going on, Road King? How you doing, Road King? Were you out riding today? Or was the weather permitting? Yeah, the Crypt Keeper. He decided to throw his legs up and hang out in there tonight. He's just chilling. Let's see. What's going on, Dustin Styles? I take that back. You're going to time travel to the set of Goonies. Yes, Team Music Lover. Hey, you guys.
Your small business taxes handled.
Here's what it looks like on the
All
bike.
your unique deductions found.
So
Keep more money in your business.
those are like the electronics right
and
there.
take taxes off your plate with TurboTax Expert Full Service Business.
Trying to make it so I could make sure I could pull the battery out, which it'll easily clear this. I'm gonna drill those 3 holes right there. And then let me grab the little cover
We were
thing.
able to use Google Ads geotargeting to tap into major US cities. Overall, we were getting 15 times return on ad spend. Google Ads helped us grow globally.
See if this will fit. This might be nice. So it'll fit on like that. And once this is on there, I'll drill the holes. I'll replicate the holes and just put some bits through. And it'll be like the underseat storage area will be basically like this part all the way down to here. And I'll make the seat pan on there. And then it'll be like more rideable. So I think it looks good. I basically just have to take off these 4 bolts, and then I'll drill those holes out and weld on a couple nuts. Let's see. I'll move the camera over just so it's a little different for you guys. Subscribe. So tomorrow I'll be getting the battery. I think the batteries for the Vulcan and the pit bike, or the dirt bike. Thanks for the kind words, Team Music. Have to crash. Be there soon, Fang. On the reel. All right, Giacomo. See you later. What's going on, Stars Elite? 7. How you doing, Stars? Let me grab a quick drink of water. Oh yeah, Minnesota. My bad, Road King. I forgot. No chance you'd be putting none of those screws in your tire. Have you ever tried to ride on the ice or anything, Road King? I've seen those guys riding like dirt bikes and stuff out on like frozen lakes. I thought that looked pretty cool, but I would eat crap immediately. I probably couldn't even walk. I don't think I could even walk over a frozen lake, let alone ride a dirt bike over it. But I would probably try it. If I was wearing a bunch of gear and I could just basically fall and just hit it and slide, I would at least try it. I'd try it like 3 times until my L5 S1 started hurting real bad, and I'd be like, I can't do this. I'm gonna break my back. This is not worth it, me breaking my back. But I mean, I tried a few times, and then possibly get someone to like look like me and do a stunt double thing. Try that. Make a really cheesy looking stunt double. All right. Trying to take this up. I might have to actually. Oh, I guess it's got plenty of room as long as you put it in there absolutely perfectly. Yeah, I'll worry about that later. Let's see, take this out one more time. I think after I do this, that this under seat area is going to be done, which is nice. That'll be complete. I'll just have to worry about the ignition coil, mounting that next. And I think as far as the wiring, I just have to weld on a ground point, like a ground tab, and then I think that'll be it for the wiring, at least for the most part. Like as far as the main stuff, I don't know. There's the regulator up here on the front. This regulator rectifier is mounted up on the front of the scooter, which kind of bothers me. but I don't think I'm going to mount that inside there or anything. If anything, I would move it somewhere, maybe like down on the side somewhere underneath the scooter, maybe. I don't think I would mount it. Or maybe I will mount it right here, like somewhere right out in the open. But where I want it to be. I have some cool ideas for the front. Okay. Let me drill this out. Take this little battery box out. Focus says, I'll never forget the first time I tripped out on shrooms. My friend turned into the Crypt Keeper and started laughing just like him. First trip was the scariest but funny looking back. That sounds terrifying, Focus Angels. I would probably be evaluating everything about my friend. I would say, what's going on with my friend? Are they the Crypt Keeper? Are they really the Crypt Keeper? Are they not telling me? Do they have something off about them? What the heck's going on? What's going on with
You show up
Tommy?
for your friends. You show up for your family. You show up when
What's
it matters.
going on with him? Why does he
Now
look
it's
like
your
that
turn to
now?
show up for you.
Why is he starting to look at me like that?
Institute open house.
Why did he take my lunch at work today? I can't believe it.
Step inside real world labs.
I made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich specifically. I wanted one. He knew I wanted one. He took it out of my lunchbox.
Most of all, you'll see what it's like to take a.
These are all questions that we have. Rob says time travel is only possible with a banana peel or banana bread with a generic 80s blue and white can of Ralph's beer that just says beer in blue. Yeah, I think banana bread would be I mean, that's a possibility. You could also harness the power of banana bread to possibly bend space-time. I mean, it really depends on what kind of butter you use. Of course, at bananabreadbros.net, we use the saltiest Irish cream butter that you could ever get your hands on. We actually contacted the manufacturer when we started bananabreadbros.net back in 1996. We contacted the manufacturer of this Irish cream butter, and we said, hey, we need actually extra salt in it. We had to pull a lot of strings with the FDA to get the extra salt content, and because it's the sodium is what was the whole big scare back then. But yeah, once we got the sodium figured out and we got that all locked in, and we were able to get the nutritional label updated and everything and get kind of the wordage bent around the way it had to be, I mean, we were raking in the money. I mean, we couldn't be stopped. Because we were getting that saltiest butter you could ever imagine, and we were putting, I mean, the pieces of butter are probably about this thick on each slab, and it's just a nice thick slice of butter. It's kind of warmed up. We throw it on the hottest banana bread. We're not even legally allowed to sell it that hot, but we do it anyways because we don't care. We want it to be hot. When we throw that butter on there, it starts to melt. It'll melt in your mouth. It'll melt in your hand. It'll melt on your dog. So don't put it on him. Unless he loves bananabreadbros.net. I'm sure he loves it. Why is this not functioning? Okay, here we go. Just crooked enough to make it possible. Brought to you by Chicken Liquid. It's chicken liquefied. It's chicken you don't have to chew. Yeah, a couple of months ago, me and Gizmo actually got on an all-chicken diet. We eat nothing but chicken. We were contacted by our friend, Lieutenant Dan, and he actually hooked us up on a really good deal on chicken, guys. We were doing the all-liquid chicken diet. And we basically just do a rotisserie chicken, whole chicken, throw it in the blender, liquefy it, bones and all, and then it's just like a healthy drink on the go, liquid chicken. When you think about it, when you're really compressing the nutrients, when you're getting all the nutrients packed into just one quick shake, I mean, Carnation Instant Breakfast really can't compete, you know? They're not really a competitor at this point. Now I think this is the pile of drill bits that I was supposed to throw away. The ones that I said, I'm not even going to try and sharpen these ones. Okay, just got to drill this out big enough that the bolt can go on through there, and then I'll weld a couple of nuts on there, and we'll be good to go. This little part, I think, will be done. I need to get a new drill chuck. I'm gonna buy a new drill chuck thanks to Kyle. Kyle with his generous $20 donation. I think one more drill bit and then we're good to go. Let's see. Alright, make it quick. What's going on, Matt? Matt. What's going on, Matt Villanueva? How you doing, buddy? Thank you, stars. I will enjoy the live. Appreciate the kind words. What's going on, Chris SCV? Thanks. You are looking at the co-host of Fang's Garage. Got a little metal sliver in my finger there. They're not props. They move without him. Yes, indeed. Flocus has seen him move without me moving him. All right, easy enough. We go on those holes. Let me grab a hand file and clean out the backside real quick so I can get these nuts. So I can get these nuts on there. And by D's nuts, I mean the M6 by 1.0 nuts. If you're following along and you are working on your 2008 Lance Milan GY6 scooter, and I know that there is a lot of you guys following along and working on your scooter as well, making it into a little Mad Max scooter. I'm using the M6 by 1.0 bolts on these holes right here. I'll show you. The holes are all drilled out, so what I'll do is I'll throw a couple of nuts in there just like this. And basically I will put the bolts on there, then put the nuts on there on the bottom, then I will weld the nuts on there, take the bolts out, finish welding the nuts on, and or actually try to leave it on there to weld it throughout. And yeah, And then this will be nice and secured. Then I will put this on top. Actually, I'll probably trace out the holes first on this. It'll be easier to do that. And it'd make more sense. It'd be easier to trace it with just a hole rather than a threaded with a nut welded on there, I think. So let me grab my long nib. Actually, my long nib might not even work. Might have to grab my regular nib. Expose my nibs. Alright. This up here. Hold on a second, guys. Let me get this camera set up. So I don't expose my long nibs for too long. Let's see. Try and find my marker. Dub sack. What's going on, Dub sack? How you doing, buddy? Sorry, I'm taking a minute to catch up on the chats. It's I'm kind of delayed on it. Grandma looking handsome tonight. Gizmo, cute. I agree, stars. Gizmo is looking a little dapper guy. I don't even ski anymore. It hurts too much to fall down these days. Road King, you said the magic word, Road King, and you have activated the ski mask. I'm gonna throw on the ski mask for a minute and just warm up my face a bit. Just so you know, I'm thinking about you out there in the cold Minnesota air. Rob says, I feel you do well opening a lemonade stand with all the co-hosts up front. You'll be the first selling late night lemonade. Rob, that's not a bad idea. I could do a neon green lemonade stand. How about that? Sounds cool, actually. Yes, OG Dirk Diggler still twerking on that scooter. I haven't twerked on the stream yet. Sorry. You forgot the Converse sneakers. Crazy. You want some Converse sneakers, crazy? Contact me. Fang's Garage live on Instagram. If you want these Converse sneakers, they're these weird zipper Converse sneakers. You don't want these Converse sneakers. They're probably haunted, just like half of the other things in the garage here. I once left a bologna plain sandwich in an old school Star Wars lunchbox in 4th grade at school, and it actually grew a plant leaf. No mayo or mustard for a week. That's crazy. You grew a plant in there? That's a good way to cultivate a little ecosystem. How many drill trucks can a drill chuck? I'm not sure, Rob. I'm not sure if a drill truck even could chuck a drill. It could be Rob. He could be a gremlin from the Kremlin. Yes, exactly, Rez. I am making some art. Actually, I've had a couple people say that. Probably. I don't know. Let me get to tracing this hole real quick. Do a little hole tracing. See if my nib is going to fit. Nope. My nib is too long on this one. I'm going to have to use a standard size nib. Sometimes the standard size nib works. I mean, sometimes you can't always use a long nib. That's all I'm saying. All right. Let me do this upside down, backwards, inside out. Try and do it the best I can. That's all I can do. That's going to be the Fang's Garage motto. I did the best I could. That's all I could do. Alright. Got the holes generated via Nano Banana. I actually paid about $7,000 for an AI system. It's all AI generated, guys, in case you're curious. It's the most advanced video model. Got the holes marked out right here. Boop, boop, boop. Those will be good to go when it's no longer a drill. And then it's drill time for now, what time it is, time for me to go grab the nuts that I've been needing to grab all night long. The nuts in my truck. The nuts I spent $2.50 on. So let me go run and grab my nuts real quick. And I guess you guys can take a peek at the garage while I'm gone. We are open until 3 a.m. tonight. We're live.
Kling 2.6 Pro is now on Artlist. I think I figured out what's wrong with you. And unlike this guy, it generates audio too. Kling's new image to video and text to video generate fully synced sound. Where to? With natural acting, so you can create film-ready,
Say you love me,
cinematic videos
or I'm leaving.
with one prompt. Go to Artlist and start creating without limits.
If your side hustle is starting to make real money, it's time to make it official with an LLC. LegalZoom helps you do it right. They made it super simple to launch our LLC and stay compliant afterwards. We just answered a few questions.
I ran all the way back.
Rest. And when bigger questions came up,
Don't feed them after dark. The OG Dirk Diggler. I'll try not to.
when you're ready,
OG.
start your business with
They are very convincing. They're much more convincing than you could ever imagine. All right, got the nuts. I'm going to bolt these on. Actually, I guess I'll probably scuff them up a bit. See if we can do this. Use the file real quick. Okay. Just gonna try and scuff these up a bit. I'm not sure if this zinc coating is gonna matter. I think it's zinc, yeah. I don't think I'm supposed to be breathing that in, but I'm welding it. I'll hold my breath the whole time. I'll hold my breath the entire time I'm welding it. I can do it. I'm practicing for underwater welding. That's what Courtney used to do. Back in the day, she's an underwater welder. She's actually really good at it. Okay. I think it'll be good. I don't want to do too much to it because I could mess it up. All right, let me sand the bottom of this real quick, or hit it with a grinder for a second. Clean this up. Probably should plug it in, huh? All right, might want to cover your ears for a second, guys. Just gonna take a minute to do this. All right. So now what I'm going to do is probably take it over to the bench, throw these nuts in here, quickly wall it up, and then I think that'll be it. I'll just have to drill out these holes. Maybe I should do that first. Drill this out real quick. Actually, I'll wait to do that. I might have to modify that trim a little bit to make it so it's going to fit these nuts or these bolts. Let me grab these. Take this over here. Rob says, here I thought you were going for some planters or cashews. Man, I'd love to grab me some cashews right now. I'd love to have me some cashews. Oh, almost went down. They got me with the two-piece combo. Tripped over one thing and then stepped on another thing. Yes, Big Donna is a Mogwai. User 7331. I would dispute your comment about being a hoarder, but I just literally tripped over my own junk, so I can't even say crap. You got me dead to rights, buddy. In fact, a hoarder. I'll admit it. I hoard the good stuff, though. I only hoard all the good stuff. You're not gonna catch me hoarding no junk. You really think I'd be hoarding junk? User 7331. You really think I'd be hoarding this junk? Alright. You really think I'm junk? Huh? I ain't no junk, punk. Come here. Come over here. You didn't appreciate the comment, but it's okay. It's understandable. Let me actually put him over here real quick. Don't worry. I know you didn't mean it. He's not junk. He's just here. He didn't want to be here. He has to be here. All right. Get a little weld on. How about that? Okay. Get the acetone and rag. get all my junk out of the way, all my hoarder goodies. Yeah, I like that. Hoarder in the quartz. All right. Me and Courtney here have an appointment tomorrow to get a couple of microplastic injections. We're getting a little bit of filler done, a little bit of work done. Nothing crazy, nothing too altering, but just a little touch up, you know, just a little microplastic filler. It's not a big deal. We're going with the BPA this time because that is actually going to be better for my skin at least. But I mean, it's actually a little bit cheaper that way also, where we're getting it done at. So it should be good. I'm hoping it's going to help me out, at least my confidence a little bit. Courtney already has plenty of confidence. Ever since her successful career at Snapple, with the Snapple Cat Facts, she's had a lot of confidence, and I don't blame her. She's been thriving since she started working at Fang's Garage, and I mean, I can see it. We can all see the progress. Courtney was actually an underwater welder for a long time. Believe it or not, she's actually really good with the buoyancy test. They thought she was not going to be able to pass it, but she sank like a stone, went right down to the bottom, and she could essentially hold her breath for longer than anyone else in her underwater welding class. So that's actually where I met Courtney. I was working on the crab fishing boat with Gizmo, and we were pulling up the nets one time, and we accidentally pulled up Courtney, and Gizmo said, "What is that?" I said, "I don't know. I think it's some sort of fish or something." I thought it was some sort of whale, like a little, maybe a deep sea whale, and maybe a beluga type. I'm not positive, but I thought maybe that's what it was. Gizmo was not really helping that much. He was busy eating. It was his lunchtime, but he was still supposed to help me because when you're on lunch on the crab fishing boat, if they sound off the alarm when you're passing the buoy, it doesn't matter if you're on lunch or not because of the contract we signed. It's kind of like a salary-based type thing where if Gizmo's eating his lunch, it doesn't matter because once we're passing the buoy, he's obligated by contract to come help. He didn't come help. I had to file a grievance with the union. I said, "This is ridiculous." He didn't come help me again. He was supposed to come help me, and he was sitting there eating his lunch. He had the Kraft mac and cheese, the little Easy Mac. It was like the little bowl of macaroni and cheese where you put the just the water in it up to the fill line. What is up with this bowl? Why is this giving me such a hard time? He's eating his Kraft Easy Mac, and he's complaining because he didn't put the water all the way up to the fill line. And I said, "You know, you have to put it up to the fill line, or else it's not going to be like viscous enough. It's going to be too thick." And he was complaining about it, crying about it, legitimately crying. And how did I just lose his brand new nut? There you go. He's literally crying about it in the corner. I said, "You got to help me with this net, dude. It's really heavy. There's something in here. I don't think it's just crabs this time, dude. You got to help me." And finally, I convinced him to come over there and help me. And we pulled up the net, and sure enough, there's Courtney in there. And Courtney, being the let me grab a nut real quick. Come on. A bolt. Courtney, being the extremely hard worker that she is, when we pulled her up in the crab net, she was just still welding. She was still working on her project. She was welding together a little art sculpture underneath the water. And I asked her, I said, is this what you're supposed to be doing with underwater welding? I thought you were supposed to be like welding on different rigs and stuff. She said, no. She's just doing that type of underwater welding where you just weld underwater. She didn't actually work for anybody. She was just an underwater welder, like just as a hobby. I said, that's insane. How did you even get into this hobby? She said, I had to go through all these tests and I had to do all this stuff. I had to jump through all these hoops to get certified for scuba diving and for underwater welding. And then just by chance, we just so happened to find her out there in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, floating around at the bottom of the ocean, just floating there at the bottom. And we pulled her up. And that's how we became friends. Right? And yeah, basically the story kind of speaks for itself after that point. As you guys know, she helped me write my autobiography. And yeah, I mean, basically, you know the rest. That's whenever I got on the TV show. That's when I started getting into the X Games. That's when I started, that's when I met Gordon Ramsay. That's when the whole thing with, the whole voice actor on Bobby's World. That's where I got that job from. It all kind of stemmed from there. I was one of the stunt coordinators on Fear Factor for a while. And that was a really intense job. I mean, I had to try all the stunts, including the eating stuff, and it was just brutal. But yeah, that's how we met Courtney. And it was just basically, that's how Fang's Garage kind of started, you know? It all started from there. That's where we met Chris Angel with the croissants. I think that's actually moving forward, guys, with the Chris Angel snack item, the croissants from Chris Angel. I think that's actually moving forward, guys. So I got my fingers crossed on that one. Let me get the welder assembled real quick and then get to welding. I'm sorry, Kenny. Stripe was hiding back there. Didn't realize. Would you spell that gizmo? Would I spell him? Yes, I would. It is spelled Gizmo. That's how I would spell it. 67597. What's going on, 6? Glad you're here, 6. We're working on a little seat pan for the GY6 scooter. Cobra Cousin threw away. What is playing in the background? The song is called The Future Past by Jeremiah Kane. If you want to listen to, or if you're interested in any of the music that I'm listening to, there's a playlist on my channel that has like a lot of the music I listen to, if you want to check it out. And I think this song might be on there. But a lot of similar songs are on there. I think it's called You Know It's Sick Music. You know it's sick music. You can't deny it. If you even try and deny it, you're freaking lying. And I do not associate with liars. Neither does Gizmo. Gizmo actually got lied to a lot when he was growing up, when he was in grade school. They were telling him that he was all sorts of different things. One kid was telling him that he was a little fox. Of course, that's not true. He is not a little fox. He's a little mogwai.
Did you know
but they used to bully him. They used to lie to him. They used to try and take his lunch money. And of course, he didn't get a lot of lunch money.
Did you know you can create your own AI voice with Natural Reader?
Oh my
The best
gosh.
part, your AI voice is multilingual.
I don't want to hear the AI voice thing. I know. Let me get this welder set up. Yeah, he got bullied a lot in grade school. That's kind of why he became the bully. Gizmo does bully people around the house a lot. He likes to steal stuff. He likes to pinch people a lot. I'm not sure why, but that's kind of his thing. He likes to pinch people all the time with his little hands. And surprisingly, like his hands they're very strong. It's like a little, it's almost like a little toenail clipper. Like that's how sharp his little fingernails are. And just I don't know how he gets so much leverage with like his little thumb and pointer finger to pinch someone. He'll take a piece of skin off, just like no resistance. It's like it would be like you squeezing like a little sponge or like a little gummy bear. He just rips the skin off that easily. It hurts a lot. And of course he does have cute aggression, which is the phenomenon where something is so cute that you get aggressive with it and you just want to bite it. That's why people pinch babies' cheeks and stuff. And that's what Gizmo gets. He gets really aggressive and cute, and he'll just start biting people. See? He'll start biting people. He'll start like he'll start kind of getting semi-aggressive with you, but in a way where it's cute, where you cannot really get mad about it. It's really frustrating. It's really infuriating. I usually get really mad about it. At night, I usually scream about it in my sleep. I can't stop thinking about it. It's caused me a lot of grief. But it's all right. I have to be patient with Gizmo. He does need a lot of help. It's okay. He's just a little misunderstood. Big Don says it's after midnight, no underwater welding. Did not see that comment until now, but that's a good one. I will tell Courtney no more underwater welding. And especially don't bring Gizmo down there as your little dive partner again. Gizmo got trapped in an underwater cave the other day. I had to go swim down there and rescue him. I said, how'd you get down here? He said he was trying to get a coin out of the bottom of the fountain, and then he found a little tunnel at the bottom of the fountain, and then he went down there and he was stuck in an underwater cave system. Grassbass says, haters gonna hate. Yo, Fang, what's up? Glad to see you again. Courtney, my girl. Courtney's here. She was actually asking about you, Grassbass. She said she's interested in going ice fishing with you sometime. She said you could possibly dunk her down in the ice hole, like basically just like this. You could possibly hold on to the chain or something, dunk her down into the ice fishing hole, and you could use her essentially like a underwater thing that they have on a submarine, you know, where it pokes up, but it would just be like an underwater version, like kind of like a fish finder type thing. I think it would work. She was talking to me about it last night after the stream. She said, do you think that he would take me ice fishing? I said he probably would. She said, do you have a jacket that I could borrow? I said no. And she said, what's the deal? Why won't you let me borrow your jacket? I said, because I just got it for Christmas. I don't want to ruin it. She said, I'm not going to ruin it. I'm just going to go ice fishing maybe. I said, you haven't even talked to him about it yet. You just barely brought it up. I don't think why are you going to borrow my jacket already? And she said, well, I also need it because I'm going to go to work early tomorrow and I'm going to be cold. I don't have my jacket. I said, what happened to your jacket? She said, well, I left it. I brought it with us when we went to the concert the other day, when we went to the Foo Fighters concert. I brought it with me and then I forgot it. I said, so now what? You're going to take my brand new Christmas jacket and go lose it? Because you didn't care about your jacket. And now what about my jacket? You're just going to lose my jacket? And she said, no, I'm not going to lose your jacket. I said, but you lost your jacket. And then she said, that never mind, I don't need it. I said, what? You haven't even asked Grassbass if he would take you fishing yet. And now you want to already get the jacket. So I don't know. If you want to take her, it's totally up to you, Grassbass. Like I said, she could be like a fish finder type friend and help you out. Possibly get that pike that you've been trying to get. I know she's a big fishing enthusiast. Guys, I'm going to use the welder. So you might want to block your eyes. You might want to block all your holes and make sure that none of them are exposed to the weld arc. I don't know if it's good for you. Might be. It might be. You might be getting an extremely concentrated version of vitamin D. in some way, because you're going to be staring at essentially the sun. Oh yeah, I need a ground clamp, huh? Forgot, I probably need a ground clamp on here. And let me see if I can get this in a comfortable welding position. Alright, comfy enough. Comfy schmumpy. Put this on here to weigh it down. Alright guys, I'm gonna get my weld on real quick. Shouldn't take long. As long as there's no issues, which I'm sure there will be.
We were able to use Google Ads geo-targeting to tap into major US cities. Overall, we were getting a 15 times return on ad spend. Google Ads helped us grow globally.
There we go.
Grammarly helps me get the best grades possible while depleting the least amount of hours of my week. I'm Lauren Taylor. I'm a student in future studies, and I am with Grammarly.
Get up under here.
Grammarly's AI Compose can help me narrow down what to write about. I can, in 15-20 minutes, have a decent outline of what I'm going to be writing over the next week or two. Grammarly's tailored with writers in mind. If, as a student, you want to put your best foot forward, Grammarly is your go-to. Download Grammarly for free.
2 out of 3. Last one tacked on. I'm not going to fully weld it around. I'm just going to tack it in a couple spots on the nuts. And I think it'll be good. Little bonus tip, if you guys are going to do something like this, I would suggest leaving the bolts in there to possibly help not distort the threads. If you're going to be welding a nut onto something, put a bolt in there. I think that theory works. To help not distort it, it's going to have the bolt in there. Otherwise, it could I think the thread could, like, a lot easier, it could just like melt or get distorted, essentially. So, I don't know. Something I always do. Little Fang's Garage tip. That probably will make you ruin your bike, but that's okay. If you want to ruin your bike, go for it. By all means. I'm not opposed to anyone ever ruining their motorcycle by trying to take it apart and modify it and then not ever finishing it. But this one is going to be finished soon. Do a little more welding on this real quick. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Okay. See if maybe I could do something like that. Probably work. What's going on, Your Majesty? You did not miss much. Just doing a little welding here, and just drilled out a couple holes and used a grinder a bit. We're just getting this little cover done. Should be done here in not long, or close to it. Just got to drill a couple more holes after doing a little bit more welding, and then the little cover will be done, and I think it'll be pretty close to start making a little template for the seat pan and stuff. I'm just trying to finagle my way into this little cramped area and weld this nut on here. There we go. You didn't see that. The heck? My mask just failed. What's going on with that? The welding helmet just stopped working. Last nut, get this welded on real quick, and then drill 3 holes, and I think that little section will be done. Get it all mounted up. Pretty close to actually being able to start it up. I mean, I think I could. All I need is the ignition coil mounted on there. Oh gosh.
At Bima Medical Institute, you'll get hands-on training and the support you need for a successful career as a medical assistant, dental assistant, veterinary assistant, and more. Bima Medical
See if I can salvage this.
Get started today at bmi.edu. 9 meses can make a lifelong difference.
Man, I literally cannot see a thing.
Kling 2.6 Pro is now on Artlist. I think I figured out what's wrong with you. And unlike this guy, it generates audio too. Kling's new image to video and text to video
Put one more
fully synced sound.
tack on there.
With natural acting, so you can create film ready.
Say you love me.
This auto darkening hood doesn't really help if I can't see right when I start. I need to put that flashlight on here. There we go. Okay, that's good to go. Let me shut this welder off real quick. I'll show you. Just a couple nuts. I smell something burning. I'm not sure what it is. Hoping it's not Gizmo. No? Okay. As long as Gizmo isn't currently on fire, that's good. Gizmo is, of course, not immune to dry flames. He does like to hang out in the jacuzzi a lot, which I get it. But it's not encouraged. I've actually been eating a lot of pepperonis lately, a lot of deli meats. He's been on a little bit of a cold cut craze. What in the Ed Gein is going on here? Congrats, Rainy Days. You were the first one to mention that name on the stream. Everyone mentions it at some point. We're just here with Courtney. She's, of course, not too pleased about your comment, if you could not tell by the look on her face. But it's okay. She's used to it. We're just here live at Fang's garage, working on the Mad Max scooter. It's okay. I get it. Rob says there's so much not going on in other streams. I agree, Rob. When was the last time you saw somebody working on something, walking around the camera? The gremlin. And Cyclops secretary. It's alright. I get it. Gizmo gets it. He understands. He completely understands. He gets it. So does the crypt keeper, the librarian here at Fang's Garage. Let me stop getting you guys motion sick. Thanks, Rainy. Yeah, Courtney was. Thanks, Rob, for saying that. Courtney was giving you a dirty look, but it's forgivable. She forgives you. It's alright, Rainy days. We get it. We know. We know. We get it. Come with me. Come with me. Over here. Tom is enthusiastic about the progress being made on the scooter. He thinks it's coming along just fine. I think he's also trying to butter my biscuits because Gizmo and Tom were asking if we can go out and get rolled tacos when we were done here tonight. I said, maybe. We'd go hang out with Trevor Horchata. Get some horchatas, have a couple tacos, maybe. We'll see. Let's see if these threads are all deformed or not. Get this out real quick. All right. Let's get these holes filled out. Yeah, I was reminiscing yesterday about the old hopscotch championships of 1997. I was, of course, the hopscotch champion of 1997, the Southern Hemisphere division, and it took me a long time to get to that spot. Of course, hopscotch back then was a really competitive sport. Me and Gizmo here, we actually were involved in the 4SQ. It's technically the new name is it's 4SL, which is a Foursquare League. Me and Gizmo were involved in the competitive Foursquare division, and we were actually really good at it. We were really great partners in the competitive Foursquare world, and it takes a lot of coordination to be doing doubles on competitive Foursquare. Sorry, I didn't see you guys were throwing some chats at me. By having the jellyfish chase each other, that's steps above other streams. You know what? Thanks, Rob. The jellyfish actually were kind of sleeping right now when I walk by there. I'm still sleeping. This is my nightmare. Rainy days. Thank you for the 100. Thank you, Rainy Days. I hope this is not, in fact, your nightmare, but your wildest dreams come true here at Fang's Garage. We're just hanging out, listening to music, working on the scooter, absorbing information, passing on traditions, learning new rituals. We're learning all about the ins and outs of Eggo waffles and if they could be stuffed with meat, like an Uncrustables, but like a meat stuffed one. We could try it. I mean, it's possible. We were talking about all sorts of different things. We're talking about different cat food flavors. We're talking about different Jamba Juice controversies. The list goes on and on and on, Rainy Days, but I appreciate the 100. Thank you. I'm having PTSD. If you're having flashbacks, that's great. That means you're working through the trauma. That means your neuroplasticity is still intact. That means that you're overcoming all the obstacles and that you're becoming a new, brand new person, Rainy Days. You're developing into the person that you've always dreamed of becoming by facing that trauma and saying, "You're not ruling my life, PTSD." I don't think so. It's not just anybody you're dealing with here. It's Rainy Days you're dealing with. And you know what? Here comes the rain. I'm about to bring the rain and the pain. I get it. I actually looked into something very weird the other day regarding dreams. It's a reoccurring dream that I had since I was a child. And apparently it is like a reoccurring nightmare that everybody has. It's called Alice in Wonderland syndrome. And I could never describe it when I was trying to tell people what the nightmare was. And then I saw this video and I was like, that is the exact reoccurring nightmare that I've had since I was a child. And that's it. It was bizarre. But yeah. Kind of weird. Why would a bunch of people have the same exact nightmare? It wouldn't make any sense. What do you think, Rainy Days? You ever heard that song by The Cult called, I think it's called The Rain? It's a good song. Okay, I think this is pretty much good to go. I'm gonna drill out these holes real quick, get my hole on, do a couple hole inspections, see how the holes are looking, make sure they all are up to spec. Of course, me and Gizmo, before he got a job at Home Depot in the plumbing department, he was a hole inspector with me over at the Ridgeway Crest Mall. We'd go around the mall, we'd do all sorts of different hole checks on different holes that they have throughout the mall. It's a really specific job. Unfortunately, it was so specific that they let us go after a while because it was just like so specific. They said, how many holes could you be checking for this long? Me and Gizmo would actually crawl up into the attic and play solitaire on a Windows computer that we had kind of wired into the lighting. That's basically how we got the power source. We wired into the can lighting right above Macy's. And we were in the Ridgeway Crest Mall just playing solitaire for hours and hours and trying to beat solitaire, and we could not beat solitaire. And they were like, what are they doing? I thought they were hole inspectors. They had badges. They said that they were supposed to be working here. I don't think they're supposed to be working here. Where are they? I can't find them anywhere. Let's check the CCTV cameras and see if we can find them.
With Google Workspace,
and then
like
there was just this
Drive,
big
Gmail,
controversy where me and Gizmo
so your whole team can make
we were basically caught.
In real time.
We weren't actually hole inspectors at the Ridgeway Crest Mall. They caught us playing solitaire above the crawl space above Macy's, and it was a big deal. We got fired. We weren't allowed in Macy's anymore. It was not good. Rainy Day says Courtney is so triggering. Well, you know what? She's triggering you to hit the subscribe button because she wants you to come back and see the wild, weird stuff that's going to be going on. This little scooter that I'm working on is nearly done, so hang in there. We'll make it. I'm going to grab this piece of wood, grab the drill. Actually, I will do this over here so that not as loud. Let me go back here. Thank you for the subscribe. Rainy days. We're getting it done. It will happen. It's only a matter of time, rainy days. When you see this thing finished, you're gonna be like, okay, I get it now. Now I understand. Now I get it. I think I'll be saying that too, because I'm not sure what it's going to look like, to be honest with you. Thank you, Your Majesty. Quickly use the drill over here. Vroom vroom. Sea-Doo Master. What's going on, Sea-Doo Master? It's the master of Sea-Doos himself, Sea-Doo Master. Move over, Aquaman. Sea-Doo Master's here. He's ready to harness the power of Sea-Doos nationwide. Sea-Doo Master and me actually go back a long way back. Back in '87, we were out there racing Sea-Doos out there, just out in the Sacramento Bay, just racing Ski-Doos. Yeah, they were actually called Ski-Doos back then. It was weird. It was like a Sea-Doo, Ski-Doo combo. It was really complex. The mechanism to go from the snow to the freaking ocean was incredible. It was just like really crazy mechanism with these kind of these ski lift type things where it would lift up and then the thruster would be underneath the ski lift. It was crazy. Anyways, me and Sea-Doo Master, we'd be out there just in Sacramento Bay racing around Sea-Doos, going hundreds of miles an hour, running from the police, just going crazy, doing wheelies out on the ocean. It was insane. We actually got chased by helicopters one time. Unfortunately, they were not able to follow us into the little cove that we went into because it was like kind of this little bayside cliff. And we freaking got away from the helicopter, ran up the stairs. They had some stairs from back in the Prohibition time. Got up those stairs, and when we got out into the alley, we jumped into our van with no windows, and we took off. Me and Sea-Doo Master, we got away. And they're never going to find us. Yeah, we used to race Sea-Doos. We used to just kind of pirate ships. We used to pull over ships and make them throw down their anchor and give us all their stuff. We'd take all their snacks, take all their flares. We'd take all their life jackets, and we would just leave them out there. Me and Sea-Doo Master said, "I am the captain now." I said, "That's a great line. You should put that in a movie." And he did. He's actually the guy that made that movie. Big producer. Alright, just a couple more things and then I'm done. Done with the power tools. I promise. I'm gonna go into stealth mode in about 3 minutes. Fang's Garage ASMR in 3 minutes. It's gonna get quiet. It's just gonna be the music and the whispers. can't smell skinny cat on the mic and start whispering into it. He's gonna whisper back to his book. Alright, let me finish drilling this out real quick. Won't take long. This chuck would freaking not slip like it's been doing since the freaking dawn of time. Let me tighten the shingles off of this thing and see if I can get it to not slip, and then be able to assemble everything finally. Alright, I think I got it. Alright, let me just file it real quick. File it under just about done and good enough, and then we will see what it looks like. I think I'll have to modify, like I said, the trim a bit. It's okay. I might have to possibly run a little WD-40 through that those nuts that I welded on there, because they're a little bit stiff. Might be a tiny bit deformed. Alright, let's see how it looks. Got the holes drilled out. Need to make sure it's gonna fit before I move the camera. Okay, let's see here. Looks like it'll fit. I might want to make the holes just a tiny bit bigger, just to make it a little easier to put in there, so he doesn't have to sit there and try and line everything up so absolutely perfectly. But let me see. Let me hit it with a little something real quick. I think it'll work. I'll move the camera over, and then you guys can see while I install it and everything. Put it all together. Let me just grab a little thing for the drill. I'm just going to just clean up the hole real quick. Do a little quick hole check. Don't worry, folks, this is all part of the plan. Hole inspections are normal here at Fang's Garage, and they are quick, painless, and don't worry, it's only gonna hurt a lot, so just hold still. I don't know what this commercial song is, so my bad. Okay, cleaner at least. Just clean up the holes on this. Kind of hard to see, but just needs a little deburring thing on there. Okay, let me move this camera. Fit Tom over here for the time being. See if we can just hold on right there. Let me move you guys. Bright light, bright light, bright light! Yeah, I forgot they don't make bright lights. It's okay. He's a star. He's a star. that you would say that. Remember W60 Shel Silverstein, one of my favorite authors that I read a billion times as a child. I am actually really happy that you said that, and I'm going to be thinking about that all day tomorrow, so thank you. It's great to see you too. What's going on, Met? P2130. You should not stop watching Rainy Days. W60 used to hang out back when I wrote Where the Sidewalk Ends. It was a real rough time in my life. I thought, where does it end? I've got to write about this. And that's what I did. When I did actually write interesting story, a light in the attic. That was actually a challenge that my friend had, to write a story about a house that had something to do with a light in the attic. And I said, it's freaking easy, dude. I'm going to name it A Light in the Attic. And he said, that's cheating. You can't do that. And how are you even going to do that? No one's going to buy that book. Look who's laughing now. I bet him $150,000, and I essentially bankrupted him. He's my childhood best friend. I said, you have to pay me. We signed this thing. And he said, are you serious, dude? Like, why would you make me pay you? It was just a joke. I said, no, I'm Shel Silverstein. I'm not gonna, I show no mercy. I show no mercy. I said that because that's my motto. It's Shel Silverstein, I show no mercy. And that's fine. You can do that. You can live like that if you want. They didn't show me any mercy. They relentlessly tortured me and knocked me as a child. They didn't care. Right? They didn't care at all. That's why I love those books. That's why I wrote those books. I wanted them to know my pain. I was going to do this. Game Over Jesse says, please release the new Stranger Things episode already. We know you have it in a shoebox on VHS in your closet. Game Over Jesse. I will release it whenever I'm ready. I'm not ready yet, okay? I cannot release it. I've signed a lot of papers in order to get that VHS tape, okay? And the box that it is in, it's a secure box, okay? There's a tag on it. And the tag will alert the authorities if I open it. So I can't open it. I can't try to open it. Sorry, I'm just going to be quiet. If I don't read this stuff, it's not it. But I'm just scrolling right now. It's my hand. My hand right here. I'm just scrolling this book. It's not really anything that you necessarily need to see. It's not like pertinent information. I'm just literally just packing up a couple phones. That's all. So just bear with me for
We were able to use Google Ads geo-targeting to tap into major US cities. Overall, we were getting a 15 times return on ad spend. Google Ads...
Sorry guys, I'm going back into regular voice mode when I go into the garage. I met Mark Dodson some years ago at the convention. He's the voice of Salacious Crumb and the voice of various gremlins. Whoa, in both 1 and 2. Voice of Teak in Ewok's Battle for Endor. Wow, remember? That's really cool. I love hearing stuff like that. Mark Dodson. I'm going to write that down. I want to look that up later. That's cool. The Ewoks. Mark Dodson. Thanks for that Snapple fact there. I'm going to look that up later and try and find some info on him. It's cool. That evil gremlin eye just moved. Rainy days. Yes, it did. It's probably looking right at you, rainy days. Doesn't that time. It looked like how your optics dead. I'm looking at the world of your soul. And now make sure that you're still thinking about what you're doing in life. That you're not just mindlessly running around doing whatever you want. You gotta think about what you're doing. You gotta think about what you're doing. And that's what he's there for. He's there to remind you to think about it. The low whisper. Your Majesty, yes. I'm trying to be really quiet out here. Again, I'm trying to be tactful. That was yesterday. I was like, it's just like, I was like, a couple of things.
That would be insane. One day I came up with a live stream, I had a shrunken head. I don't even know what would happen. I would try to just continue like nothing happened, but I'm guessing everyone's still pointing it out. Alright, let me switch this battery box around. Before I do that, I'm gonna tighten up the setup. That's good. I think I'll probably, well, these nuts on here eventually too, because I want to make it just as easy to tighten down and everything.
outside, I'm going in whisper mode. I saw a shrunken head in person as a 9-year-old in a glass case, and it creeped me out. The process it takes in order to make it so strange. Thank you, Valentino Gomez. Aesthetic of the view is top notch. Thank you. Appreciate that. I try and keep it interesting. Remember, I am highly interested in that. I wonder, was there a... sorry, I'm walking a whisper mode. Was there a skull inside of it? Or is it just the skin? That's really it's really crazy that they did that. I mean, I get it. I guess they're doing something over there. I have no idea what they're doing, but that's what they're doing. But I wonder, is there a skull in it? That's what I'm curious about. Or is it just the skin? I'd be really interested if they somehow shrink a bone. How is that possible? Okay. I got it pretty much. Oh, it's down almost. Let me just tighten these up. Alright. Let me put the battery real quick. And let me start a relay on there. Nice. It's starting to fit up. These up. These up tight. Weaselbox, Ripley's Believe It or Not, was my jam growing up. Weaselbox, same here, Weasel. I love Ripley's Believe It or Not books. I remember I got one in Costco, and I was like, what? Look at all this stuff. I said, I totally believe it.
Now I'm not so sure. Are they gonna make Ripley's Believe It or Not AI? Or they're like, this Believe It or Not, this is not AI. Or this AI. I said, this is gonna be Fang's Garage is gonna be on Ripley's Believe It or Not for most online or live stream. Or not at all over Disney. And the ladies in the chair, she posts them over all the waterfalls on it. I'll recreate that scene as well. Or maybe I'll put them on the slip slide. On the slip slide, and then on the other side. Oh, yes, yeah, I know.
Yes, I am whispering Weaselbox. I'm trying to be quiet when I'm out here.
I've had a lot of titles over the years. Filmmaker, hat dad, garbage picker-upper, but business owner wasn't one that I saw coming. Luckily, my wife worked at LegalZoom, so when we decided to open a non-alcoholic bottle shop, she knew exactly where to start. I've made LLCs for film projects before, but I always did them myself. It was confusing, frustrating, and honestly, I'm still not sure I did it right. With burden of proof, the stakes felt higher. We were building something from the ground up. Our brand, our space.
Yes, Weaselbox. I am whispering when I'm outside the garage. I'm trying to be a little bit quiet when I'm outside there. Sorry. What's going on, Amara? The INFG. What's going on, Amara? Yes, Gizzy is here. Sorry, Weasel. I'll turn down the volume a little bit so I can hopefully get a little voice action. Yeah, I'm just trying to be a little bit quiet when I'm outside the garage. So, yeah. Bear with me here. What's going on, Weaselbox? How was your day? You do anything fun today? Sort through these, grab a couple nuts and bolts out of here. We'll take this into the depths of the garage real quick. Just check how it looks. Okay. Sorry guys. it's easier if I'm in the back here sorting through these bolts real quick. I can be a little bit louder. I'm not trying to be a jerk to my neighbors as much as I have been recently, so trying to keep it down. It is close to midnight, so I am going to be closing up shop here in just a short while. But if you are interested in checking out the progress on the GY6 scooter, or any of the upcoming projects, such as the Ultima chopper that you're looking at right now, going with the long forks, I'll be working on that soon. Once this scooter is done, which it will be done soon. I'm also going to be working on a Kawasaki Vulcan 900 a little bit, doing an oil change on that, and the SR 150 dirt bike, I'll be doing an oil change on that, as well as installing essentially the same components almost. I'll be installing the starter button, the starter relay, a battery, all on the SR 150. So that will be coming up soon. I'm guessing this weekend I'll be doing that, and then getting those bikes back to their rightful owner.
We go back into whisper mode. Going back outside. It's Fang's garage. I go live every day, except for Thursdays. I'll go live on Thursdays. Alright. Put these bolts in here real quick. Hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. This hole a little bit bigger. Let's do that on the next live. We just cross thread it real quick. While I'm ahead. Might as well shoot myself in the foot while I'm ahead. Alright, I think that looks pretty cool actually. Oops. I think it looks pretty clean. Maybe a little too clean. What do you guys think? A little battery box cover. It looks good. Just secure. Now, my buddy can throw his stuff down here. Step into the garage so you guys can hear me. This little tray thing is now covering the battery, so it's at a pretty good position where I can make the seat now. Louis, yeah, he is a little bit sad. What's up with the doll head and chain? That is Courtney. She is one of the co-hosts here at Fang's Garage. We do have a lot of co-hosts here that are maybe a little bit strange, maybe a little bit shocking, but it's just Courtney. She's just here to monitor things, make sure everybody's behaving themselves. She's here to make sure that if you have any makeup tips, she can give them out, as well as hair tips. She can flip her hair around and look quite invigorating. to be honest with you, in the right lighting. And we're, of course, joined by Stripe, or as his rental application said, Tom. What's that? He loves drinking Surge. He loves smoking Marlboros. He loves hanging out by the pool. Yeah. He's also one of the co-hosts here at Fang's Garage. Just to hang out up here on the front of the scooter. No, I didn't feel well. Hopefully tomorrow I'll feel better. I hope so, Weaselbox. Ritual use. The finished head or Santo is carried by warriors for protection and to harness the power of the deceased warrior's spirit for good fortune. All right, remember, you seem to know your facts about Courtney. Yes, that is actually where she came from. Believe it or not, guys. Thanks, Weasel. Coming together nicely. Thank you, Your Majesty. Did you get him for Christmas? Marlboros. Yeah, actually, I did get him a pack of Marlboros for Christmas. He does like to smoke. I forgot that he probably hasn't had a ciggy in a while. I should probably give him one. So yeah, the scooter is starting to come along nicely, I think. I agree with Your Majesty. I think it looks cool. And the little toolbox here looks pretty cool to me also. Let's see. I think probably what I'll do next on the next live, I think I'll probably start wiring up the brake lights, figuring that out, making little spacers for this little jerry can toolbox. No, this little thing is not closing right. Yeah, I have some little Stripe. Thank you, Fine Rings Audit. Let me quickly try and reset the camera. Did I get him for Christmas? Technically, yeah, I got him for myself for Christmas. Let's put it that way. Uh-oh. The watch is going off. Let me quickly take off this little cover that I made. Actually, I have a battery here I can use. The Crypt Keeper out of here. What's that? He's liking hanging out in the little toolbox. He usually hangs out with the screwdrivers. That's his favorite drink, apparently, according to Wikipedia. I've never had one. I don't know. What is this? An old Christmas candy that I found in my pocket? Great. That's been in the washing machine, no doubt. Let's see, this is the positive. Probably shouldn't touch that to now. Let's see. And the terminals. Try that. No? Try one more battery. Okay, that works. Okay, so in case you guys are what's going on? Salute LRD VTT 51. Nice. I mean, you got Giz. You kind of need Striker to balance it out. Yes, exactly. Tu bricole quai debo. All right, I tried. I'm not sure what that means, LRD, but I tried. Check it out, guys. This is the what the brake light will look like when it's done. I think it looks pretty cool. Just like that. And I'll try and get that wired up probably tomorrow. And yeah, we need some progress on the GY6 scooter. Gizmo here loves making progress on the GY6 scooter. It's his favorite thing besides eating taquitos. Thank you, Weasel. I think it's gonna look pretty cool. I think it's gonna look pretty cool. Let me grab Courtney real quick. I'll throw you guys up here. Again, don't be alarmed. It's all part of the plan. He's not a fighter, he's a lover. He loves to fight, that is. He loves fighting. The boxing alligator loves to fight and fuss, and he especially likes to cuss, which I don't appreciate. Oh, let's bring these guys over here real quick. All right. Okay. So again, guys, we're going to be going live again. Not going to be tomorrow because I don't go live on Tuesday, but we'll be going live again on Friday night. We're working on the GY6 scooter here with Gizmo, Courtney, and Tommy Boy. Courtney actually has a meeting tonight with a skincare expert. She's going to get a couple of things done. And yeah, Gizmo's going to go with her as moral support. I never drive them because no one has a license. So, designated driver. Yeah, so they're a little bit buzzed. They're going to be drinking a little bit of yoo-hoo drinks. Those are actually, if you drink enough, they will do something. Yeah, yoo-hoo. Gizmo here is he's actually really neat. The one on the left looks real crafty. She is real, she's Courtney. Music's kind of loud. Let me turn it down. Gotcha. Hopefully that's good. Guys, see you later, Rob. She is real. She is the safety captain here, and so is Tommy Boy. He's just a little bit quiet tonight because he's been eating a lot of taquitos lately, so he's a little bit bloated. Guys, thanks for all the likes, all the comments and everything. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Fang's Garage. Live again on Friday night. Yeah, Friday. Okay. Yeah, we'll be live again on Friday. And hopefully you guys can show up and bring some snacks for Gizmo. I'll see you guys later. If you want to check out more, you know what to do. I don't need to tell you. It's Fang's Garage. I'll see you later.